Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. This is Toni Greene with psychic medium Toni G. So I thought I was live and I started, so hopefully the whole beginning was in there and it just did in at some point. Anyway, hi everybody. Well, thank you for joining me. If you called in to ask a question or if you're watching in live on YouTube, or if you're rewatching on WSCS, Rude Rangers TV, Roku, or any of the live streaming stations that I am on. Yeah. Huh. Kind of makes me happy. Okay, I joke and I tell people I'm the least famous person I know. I have 7 books that I've authored, a TV show, a radio show, and I walk down the street and nobody recognizes me. But I like it that way. Anyway, okay, we're going to get straight into this today. Um, so if I call out your area code, let me know where you're calling from and what your name is, and have a question ready. So this year is a year of growing, glowing, and flowing into where we're supposed to be. Part of growing is always healing, letting go of things. So what I want to do, this used to be relationship Wednesdays. And so I'm going to do the first healing I'm going to do is for relationship, because we all want that healthy, loving relationship, and we want the relationship we're in to to keep its magic, to keep its juju, to keep its juicy goodness. So we are in healthy, loving relationships. I get no. We are ready for healthy, loving relationships. I get no. Oh, and if we're single, we are calling in a healthy, loving partner. Again, I get no, and my throat goes wonky. What is this? Oh, okay. I'm going to start with callers. Hey, Jackie, how are you? Hey, Fawn, thank you for commenting. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and comment. If you have a question, please call in 845-277-131. Yep. And if you're watching on any of the venues or listening on any of the venues and you'd like to be part of the show live, all you have to do is watch on Monday or Wednesday at noon Central. I'm going to go to the first caller, who is, actually, I have a special guest co-host today, Rudy from Rudy's Room. Hey, Rudy. Hi, Rudy.
Hey, Toni, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm watching you on YouTube.
Everybody, just a little bit about yourself. Know who you are, how they can watch you, how they can connect with you.
Sure. Well, I am Rudy Breedy, and I'm the host of the nationally syndicated show. It's called Rudy's Room, and it's very easy to watch. You can go to watchrudysroom.com, and it's available on all your streaming platforms, plus directly online. And for those of you who are not familiar with the show, it's basically the 1 hour break in your day. So we do a little celebrity news, a little gossip, but the highlight of each episode is where we answer advice questions submitted by viewers. To be quite honest with you, Toni, everyone's cheating. If your friend's giving you trouble, they need to go.
Yes, I always say, you know what? If somebody's acting like garbage, put them in the can and let the dump truck take them to the wherever they're going to take them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even at the curb, just leave them.
Exactly. So, Rudy, are you ready to get going with the show?
I'm always ready. I live for this. You are my guilty pleasure twice a week. I love it.
I love that, Rudy. Thank you. Okay, we are going to take the first caller, Rudy. Now, callers, keep in mind, I'm intuitive. I know Rudy also has a lot of intuition, but he's giving the human perspective, the male perspective, where I'm just giving my intuitive perspective. Whatever I get from your angels, my angels. So let's go to 551. 551, how can we help you today?
I'm Jennifer from New Jersey. Okay, my question's really quick. I'm trying to relocate to this apartment, and they're driving me crazy. Inspection after inspection, all kinds of jump through hoops for them. Do you think it's ever going to come to fruition? Am I going to move to this place, or should I look for another one?
You know, Jennifer, I'm really sorry to say this. I instantly hear no. I hear a solid no, and it keeps being a no. And I want to say, and Rudy, please let me know if you agree with this. Whenever, the universe gives us so many signs, and we're like, just give me a sign, and you get another inspection. Just give me a sign, and you get another inspection. Go ahead, Rudy. What's your take on this?
No, I want to say to you, it's funny that you said that, Toni, because you say the universe giving you signs. And Jennifer, based on all these hurdles and hoops that you're going through, sounds like the universe is giving you a billboard.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's just meant to do.
But I tried to be patient and persevere, but I guess it's not the right thing to do. Oh, geez.
Well, listen.
I think the universe is giving you a gift. I think there's a reason perhaps that you're not in here, or it's not as easy as you want it to be.
And
aside from the fact the government is involved.
and yeah.
That doesn't help either.
The government's involved in it also. So it's like I got to play by their rules.
Of course. People think things are for free. Nothing's for free. If you're getting a discount, there's a lot of work that goes with that. But Jennifer, what I'm going to tell you, I do feel like there is something much better for you. I do feel like you need to keep looking. I feel like you need to find something, and they're using the word a little bit more quaint. So whatever that means for you, that's what you should go with. And I'm going to say, I have nothing against anyone getting government help, but there is definitely there's a tit for a tat there. And once you're on that government help, it really limits you from doing your purpose and your soul work. And they put all these restrictions on you in every area of your life. So just really make sure, I know sometimes we need that. We need that hand up, that help up. Make sure you're looking at all the fine print is what I'm hearing with this. Rudy, any final words for Jennifer?
No, the only thing I would just say is you're absolutely right, Toni. And Jennifer, just be mindful of, and everyone else listening, nothing is for free, and you always have to pay. And so you either have to pay on the front end or the back end.
And the back end is really uncomfortable to pay on.
Like, is it a month from now, or any idea when I will find the real place I'm supposed to go to?
Next week. I hear next week you're gonna get something. You're gonna find something next week. It's gonna be a much better fit. And Jennifer, I'm gonna say, and again, and I know Rudy and I are kind of on the same page with this, and we both, believe me, we both have come up and we both have struggled. Well, I have. Rudy, I don't want to speak so freely for you.
I'm still in the struggle.
Yeah. So what I want to say, what I really, really, really want to say is, see, I know if you need a hand right now, take it, but make sure you can let go of that hand when things get better. That's all I'm hearing for you. Okay, love?
Thanks a lot.
And the last thing before you go, the thing, Jennifer, is that everyone winds up where they're supposed to be, not always in the time frame in which we want to be, but you will get there. I'm not a psychic. I don't play one on TV, but I can feel your energy through the phone, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I've had enough of it. I was like, should I get an attorney? I mean, it's so crazy. It shouldn't be this difficult. So
it'll get better. There's a sign. There's a reason this is happening, and good things are coming your way.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're so welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're going to go to the very next caller, who is 203. 203. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Toni. It's Pat. I'm going to do another blurb for you. Hooray, I'm getting a reading tomorrow. I suggest readings with Toni. She is just super, super
You're awesome.
Actually,
thank you. I don't pay her to say that, folks. I do not pay her to say that.
She's really, you're just really helping me profoundly. I sent you a message to see if we could switch to Friday. It's not important, but if you have time to check that out.
Absolutely.
Since this is relationship.
So I'm sorry.
This is about relationships.
Oh, Pat, you're breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat that question, please?
Is this a relationship question today, or can I ask anything?
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Okay. Okay. It's about chance. It's about chance again, Toni.
Okay.
I've got him on prescription drug, and I go back and forth whether this is a good thing or not. He got attacked again and knocked over, and he's got this problem. So for prevention, I decided to put him on a medicine, and then, I go and Google, and everyone says, no, it's poison. Of course, you'll find all that, but I just don't know. Is this helping him? Is it too strong? Is it just, what do you see?
Okay, so for everybody who's not aware, Chance is one of her fur babies. So for what it's worth, what I'm hearing, and I'm going to give a shout out to, I had 2 hairless Chinese cresteds and I adored them. And they have since gone home. And they had some allergies and medical issues. My first go-to was not always the vet and not medication because they were such sensitive little beings. So what I'm going to tell you today is I'm going to tell you to Google bark and scratch outpost, and it's actually in my city. It's on 68th and off of 60. It's like right around 60th and Blue Mound. It's been a bit since I've been there, but I'm going to say, first and foremost, even if you're not in the area, you can place that phone call. They study all of their product and their product content before they allow it on their shelves. And they're very versed in what goes on with pets. The woman who started this store is because her dog had such bad allergies. They told her to put her dog down, and she said, no, there's got to be another way. And she opened the store and started doing pure food and supplements for pets. So I'm going to tell you to call them and ask them, because this is what I'm being guided to do, what a good replacement supplement for this medication is. And I'm getting that you need to wean Chance off of this medication. Don't just go on and off. It needs to be weaned off.
Okay.
And I'm getting that it is not the best thing for Chance. I do feel like there is something much better that is a little bit more natural. And I do feel like there is a liquid that will come into play that's going to help Chance. Okay, Rudy, what would you like to say about Chance and his medication?
I think you gave absolutely wonderful advice, and I say may God continue to bless and keep Chance. And there's nothing like having a fur baby. They're just such a blessing. And it's funny because even though sometimes, and I don't know if this is your case, people give them as gifts, their love is the ultimate gift. So hang in there. It's going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pat, I hope this was helpful.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Toni. Love you.
Love you too.
Yes, thank you too.
You're welcome, Pat. Love you.
Okay.
You're the best.
Okay, take care.
You too. Thank you, love. Okay, Rudy, are you ready for another caller? Or do you have something you would like to do?
This is my dream. Keep it going. You don't even have to pass
it. Let's go to 510. 510.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, hi
there. What's your name, love?
You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Tasha.
Passion?
I just want any channel. Yeah, Tasha. I want to know any channel messages from my spirit guides.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tasha, California.
Tasha. Okay. And then you were kind of breaking up during your question. So I'm really sorry. Can you please just ask that one more time?
Channel message from my spirit guide.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing that they want you to know, Tasha, your name is Tasha, correct? With a T, Tasha?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'm so sorry I was calling you Passion. Maybe you have a lot of passion for something. Okay, let me focus here. I'm so sorry. Okay. Tasha, the first thing that they want you to know is that you need to implement some changes into your life. These changes are going to come in the way of relationship and work. There are things that you need to move forge ahead, forge ahead, forge ahead. Don't be afraid to leave behind or let go of what's not working. Don't force things to work. If you force things to work, they're going to it's like carrying 1,000,000 pounds up a hill to try to get to the top, but it just keeps pulling you back. That one step forward, 5 steps back sort of thing. I see a grandmother stepping in, and she wants to say, you know better than this. It's time for you to get it together and get it going. You need to take Asha. If you rewatch this, I'm like pointing and I'm using my left hand. Whenever it's left hand, it's spirit or loved ones coming through. You need to take your life more seriously. Stop playing. Stop playing. You need to get it together and get everything like she's saying, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. And she wants you to know there is a business opportunity coming. Oh, she is not playing with you, Tasha. There's a business opportunity coming in for you, but you cannot get your gold until you let go of the coal. Let me repeat that for you, darling. You cannot get your gold until you let go of the coal. Now, that coal you're trying to drag up the hill is never going to turn into diamonds. You need to just let it go. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, and you need to get it gone so you can get your gold. And there is a business opportunity coming in, and you need to focus on where you want your life to be instead of focus on, I feel like the word that she's trying to use is drama.
Okay. I'm not into drama though. So I'm not understanding it.
Okay, well, maybe perhaps I'm picking up somebody else's.
I don't know what she's referring. Because I'm like, I just started working.
Okay, so let me ask you something, Tasha.
So
Tasha, let me ask you something. Take a breath. Let's all take a breath.
Okay.
Now, first, I do want to say there's a lot of people listening on YouTube. A lot of people have called in. It's possible I'm picking up somebody else's energy. But when a grandmother steps through, I'm pretty sure it's for you. Now, what she could be talking about when she says there's a business opportunity, remember, these are predictions for the future. It might not be what's going on today.
Okay.
Now, what she's talking about with a business opportunity for the future, have you thought about or ever felt like you should be your own boss or open your own business?
Yeah, that's true. I'm doing that now. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said you just.
I'm doing in-home care provider for my son. So that's like my home-based business.
Okay.
I'm already doing it.
Okay. So then the drama could be, and I don't want to overstate this, and I don't want to I don't want to put your business out there, but I feel like there is someone that is when they say related to you, it could be a boyfriend, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, somebody who brings you, girl, she is not letting go of drama. Somebody who brings some chaos or drama or antagonistic energy into your life. Maybe they tell you how they do or don't agree with things, but somebody is whenever you start feeling up, this person brings you down. That is what she's saying. Now, if this is not for you, it's for somebody else, but she's being pretty clear about this. And I don't know.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Well, my sister is going through a situation like she's kind of like off work with her foot, and then she hangs around this girl that always has drama.
Okay. Well, maybe that's it.
She
Rudy?
knows me, and she knows my sister, but I stay away from her.
Okay. Well, Rudy, do you have anything you would like to say about this?
All I can say is that unfortunately sometimes drama will follow you even when you try to avoid it. So you've got to do your best to mitigate it. And I think that it's wonderful that you are charting your own destiny with doing your own business. Just, make small incremental steps to keep growing that business and going down your path. And very similar to kind of what we talked to about the last caller, but this applies to you and everyone else. Really be mindful of the environment and the signs around you. Every single thing around you is a sign from the universe helping push you towards your path. So really pay attention to it. And the one thing, and no offense, so please don't write and protest me, everybody, but in particular, you lovely ladies, you ignore those internal signs, those internal signals. You suppress your feelings and you doubt yourselves. Trust yourself and believe in yourself. If you feel it, it exists. It is real. So listen to that inner voice inside of you. Don't push it to the side. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
And
because I can tell a little bit that sometimes you get these doubts of like, oh, well, no, maybe not, or oh, then I see that from you, Tasha. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself.
Okay.
I agree 100.
Okay,
I agree.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for calling in. And I want to say again, sometimes what's coming through is for the future. Sometimes it is for the past. And sometimes it's what's going on right now. However, if the message comes through, I have to say it. Now, if this is for somebody else on the line, I apologize about that, Tasha, but I am going to reiterate one thing for Tasha. They are very strongly recommending, and maybe it's something with the business you started or the work you just started, make sure it's not chaotic. Make sure that if you're taking one step forward and something's pulling you back down, you recognize what it is that's pulling you back down and you let that go, whether it's a man, a family member, or a friend. Or something in the system, because sometimes when we're a caregiver at home, again, we're working with those government systems. And make sure that you are appropriate, you're getting with the right people that are going to help you get on those right chats and pages that help you to figure out how to navigate all these systems more clearly. Okay, Rudy. Thank you for that, Rudy.
Before you go to the next one, Toni, the other thing I just wanted to say to people, because I have found this a lot of times with you and your readings in the show, is in the moment, we're so caught up in trying to catch every little nugget that you're dishing out. They're delivering a message, and it could be for the future, and it very well could be for someone else. But sometimes you got a noodle on the pearl that you're laying out in front of us, and just, just take it in, and maybe you don't get it in that moment where you're giving it to us, like in the live action, but later on, it does come to you. So just sometimes, folks, when she's sharing these things, let it marinate if it needs to. You don't have to initially discount it or even overthink it, because a lot of times in those moments where you're thinking, well, where could the drama be, or what's going on? Like, you miss the message that's coming through. So just absorb it, and later on, you can process it.
And another thing that I've noticed, Rudy, especially when somebody calls in and they say, give me a message from spirit or give me a message from my grandma or grandpa, they're expecting a very specific message. They want a certain type of content, like, oh my gosh, you're doing such a great job. Oh my gosh, whatever that message is. And when I come across with something that is more telling them, look, we're always doing a good, everybody, if we woke up and we took a breath, we are doing good. Especially in today's world, we are doing flamazing. And so we have to really embrace that. They see everything going on around us, and we may not know that this is a situation until somebody brings it up to us. Because one thing I know, especially with women, is once something becomes normal, once somebody's behavior becomes normal to us, it's no longer drama, it's the way it is. Right? So if somebody's always complaining to us and telling us about their problems, it's no longer toxic or drama. It's that's just the way that person is. No, that's still bringing your energy down, and we're not even acknowledging it as women. I don't know if men do the same thing, but I know women, they do that a lot.
No, I think that women do it more so than men, because typically we'll leave a situation or find, the escape hatch. She's crazy, I just can't deal with her, I'm going to the next one, or whatever. We're typically very quick to bounce out of that situation, and that's part of our nature. Whereas you guys are, you're healers and you're gatherers and things like that, because you want to fix and to help so much.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% correct. So Rudy, what would you like to do next? And thank you for that, Rudy. Thank you.
Which is fine. It's so funny. You and I, and thank you, by the way, for being a guest on my show not too long ago.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Oh no, I always have a blast with you. I still have some questions that we never got a chance to actually answer, and I have my own particular opinion. But I'm wondering if perhaps you could share some insight, and maybe the spirits will be able to guide some of these folks.
Absolutely, let's go.
Ready? Okay. Well, Leslie in Philadelphia, she wrote and wants to know. She went out on a first date, and the gentleman asked to split the bill. Is that a red flag that he's cheap?
It's to me, okay, for me personally, oh my gosh, like 100 things are coming to my head right now. So the men on my live chat, because I have men on my live chat, I want you to chime in about if you're on a first date and it's an actual date, is that a red flag? I'm going to say he's not that interested. Because a man who is interested will 100% want to take care of you and apprise you, show you that he's going to take care of you. And when you meet a girl, I know you're married, you've been married for a long time, and you're trying to impress her and show her that you're going to take care of her, and it's not just friends, we're moving forward in a partnership way. You are picking up that bill. You are not letting her touch it. You're even letting her see it. That's my opinion on that. What do you think, Rudy?
I will tell you what I think in a minute, but I'm curious to hear your take on this. In this new age where you lovely ladies are, and I'm not knocking, so please hear me clearly, where you are, financially independent and you're making moves, and in some cases you make a whole lot more, and all those other great things. What's wrong with a guy, kind of leaning back and letting the lady, foot the bill, if you will? Now, my personal opinion, before you even answer that, though, is I feel like whoever asks the person out should be paying for the event or activity. So, to me, the asker should be the payer. But I'm curious what you take on the first part, though. With you ladies doing so well, why can't you pay?
Okay, it's not okay. Here's what I'm going to say. It's not that we can't pay. I think traditionally, when we're asked out, more traditionally, we would have that expectation that the person's going to pay if they've asked us out and they're taking the time. If somebody wants to split the bill, no problem. I don't think that I'm going to stick with, and I really do feel this way. If somebody is truly interested in you, they're going to pick a restaurant they can afford. B, they are going to want to show, again, they're going to want to show you their interest, and that may be by paying for that bill. Now, the one thing that I do know is men who are dating a lot of people don't want to constantly be picking up the bill. They're willing to pay their share, but they're not willing to pay for the other person's share because they're going out on a lot of dates. Well, you know what? If I'm just another in the line of your series of dates, at least buy me dinner, dude. At least buy me dinner. If you've got me on rotation, if I'm Wednesday night and you have Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's not on me. That's on you, dude. That's on you. And buy me dinner because you're wasting my time.
No, you're right. I think you're completely right. And in my opinion, if you want to play, then you need to pay.
Thank you. And that is a beautiful way to put it. That is an absolutely beautiful way to put it. Yes. And do you have
you asked me earlier, by the way, to answer our viewer's question from before, I don't think that he's cheap, but I do perhaps think if that's an expectation that you have, then you really need to think about maybe he's not the man for you. And it could be a host of things. He either couldn't afford the meal, or like Toni said, he's not that into you. But if you're feeling some sort of way now, imagine what ways you'll feel later. So you may want to not pursue this going further. I will also say, secondly, is if you go on a second date and this happens again, in my opinion, just my opinion, you don't have the right to be surprised because he's already shown you how he conducts and moves. So to me, you are co-signing by going on a second date without a conversation about how you're feeling, in the first place.
And that's such a valid point, Rudy. People think that when we go out on a first date and, we start making excuses. They just didn't know me well enough. Some men just don't want to spend their money. Some men are very, very frugal. And if you don't like that, let that dude go right away.
Absolutely. There's a lid for every pot, and he is just not your lid.
Exactly. Now I am going to say one thing here, Rudy, in defense of men. If you go out on a date and you order, the lobster appetizer and the lobster and steak dinner, and you order a big fat dessert and 5 drinks, don't have an expectation that a guy is going to pay for all of that. Like, when you go out, eat normal. Eat like you normally would. Don't be like, I'm on a date, I'm going to get the most expensive, because that's just not right either. Eat like you would normally do if you were. Do you get what I'm saying there, right?
I do, and 1,000,000%. And that goes back to what I said before as well, where you pay on the front end or the back end. So the costs you may pay on the back end are unrealistic expectations by this guy, or the fact that he now views you as some sort of a type of person, which may not be indicative of your character, or just other things. So there's a cost to everything. There really is no free anything. So just be mindful of that as well. And you would want to, that golden rule, not enough people don't follow. Treat someone the way you'd want to be treated. You'd never want someone to do that to you.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000,000%. And the whole dating etiquette, I know it has changed a lot. And I know there are a lot of people out there who feel like they have their ways. Don't listen, if you can't have these conversations before you meet a person, maybe you're not ready to meet a person. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe if you can't be at dinner and have that conversation, maybe it's time to sit back and say, why am I having trouble vocalizing what I want or getting what I want in a relationship? Why am I matching up with people that don't match with me? So
gotcha.
yeah.
Well, We have another question from
Yes.
someone that we never got a chance to answer. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Will in Freeport, New York, which is on Long Island, not too far from our little studio here. His daughter and her husband lost their jobs recently. He loaned them some money, thinking it would help them to make ends meet and meet their bills. They apparently bought a fancy new car and have not yet repaid him. What's the best way to approach getting his money back?
Okay, this is a joke. He needs to go take the keys to that car and keep it until they pay him back. I do not understand people. How do you put yourself further in debt when you don't have a job or you have not paid people back? I just don't get that.
I don't either, but there's so many TV court shows with things like this. This is so sad. Wow. Well, I think that you need to have a very clearing conversation with your daughter and her husband. I think that, in my opinion, your money's probably gone and you're never getting it back, which is why I do also say never quote unquote loan money that that you can't afford to lose. So, meaning if you give someone X amount of dollars, be able to know that you're just writing that off and you may never get it back. If you do, it's a pleasant surprise. So that's the other part. Thirdly, I will say this, is that I've come to discover in all my years on the planet that life is so short and time is so fleeting, and the only thing that really matters to me at this stage are our relationships and right relationships. So your daughter's your daughter, her husband is your son, sort of. See if there's a way for you to move past this and just kind of keep it moving. I don't think it's worth a fight. I don't think it's worth not speaking to them about. Certainly address the issue once, whatever it's the response, and just kind of keep it moving. Never loan money again. But just try to maintain some semblance of a relationship with them if you can, because time goes very quickly, and it's not worth having a rift in your family over something so nonsensical.
Yeah, the other thing, you're absolutely right, Rudy. I agree with you 100%. The other thing is it depends on how much money it is. In all seriousness, it does depend. There's a difference between borrowing or loaning somebody $20 and $2,000. Definite difference there. If you're so that might weigh it out. And if I were him, if they're not offering the money back, one thing you can do is ask to borrow money from them. Say, can you borrow me this amount of money and let it be the amount of money that they borrow from you? But in the end, if I borrow someone money, I don't have the expectation of getting it back, especially if it's family. I'm going a million times. I will say this: when you are dealing with family and money, you keep them as separate as possible, just as absolutely separate as possible.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it does, like you said, in terms of the money and the amount, I totally get that. All I'm saying is whether it was $2 or $2 million,
exactly.
It's not worth your spirit to hang on to the resentment of them not paying you back or even having a rift. And you don't have to be as close as maybe you were pre you giving them the money, but just don't let it consume you. That's the point of it all, is that you certainly mention it once if you can. Whatever the response is, again, that is the response, and then you just have to, in some aspects, kind of let it go. But it's also because the universe does teach us lessons, and everything does happen for a reason, and there's a lesson to be learned in that. And so, I hate to see whatever the amount is, because you didn't say what the amount is in this letter, but I hate to see anyone lose money or things like that. But just, keep it moving. It's just too short.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. 100%. And one of the viewers on YouTube said, Patrick said, when you loan money to someone, state your expectation at the time you make the loan. I am going to agree with that. And when you're giving somebody money, they're always so gracious to say they're going to repay you. And I would say make out a payment plan right then and there, if you can, and have them sign it. but a lot of people don't think that way because it's family.
That's exactly what you think. You feel like your family, they're the closest to you, so they of course would never betray your trust, and it happens. People
Yeah.
are people, and it does happen that way. So that's really too bad. Okay, we got one more.
Yay! Excellent.
Okay, Jackie in Sarasota, Florida says that her boss is an idiot. She does all the work and he gets all the credit. She wants to complain to the higher ups, but is afraid that there could be retaliation because her boss has been there a long time and she needs her job.
Well,
What do you do? Oh, you poor people. Wow.
okay. Well, in the work dynamic, that's exactly what it is, Jackie. I'm sorry to tell you, until you own your own company, the lower you say higher ups. I'm going to say the lower ranking employees, and there is no lower ranking. The people who are not in management are usually the people who do all the work, and the higher ups are very well aware of that, because if you think your boss doesn't do any work, your boss thinks they don't do any work because he's doing all of their work. That's
Yes.
just, yeah. Rudy, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's probably not worth it for you to complain, because you're going to look like the crazy person and complainer, and your boss has been taking credit, like you said, of your work for however long you've been working there, and that's honestly not going to change. I think the goal is to see if perhaps you can find a new job, but just know that a lot of times the same issues exist in a new place,
Oh my
just with a
gosh.
different face.
Yeah.
So be mindful of that. In addition, you may want to consider maybe, now is a wonderful time in the world where you might be able to go off on your own. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you're working at the Walmart or you're in an office. I don't know what you do, but you may want to look and see if there's an opportunity for some sort of self-employment where you are the idiot boss. You give all the credit for your own work.
Exactly.
So I would look into that as well.
And one other thing, Jackie from Sarasota, if you feel like your boss is taking credit for work you did and saying it was your work, whenever you do work, carbon copy emails, send it to your boss, but then carbon copy it to the higher ups, so they see what you're doing. If your goal is to get validation for your work, that's one way to be validated for what you do. But again, just know your boss is probably not going to love that smooth move if you make it.
Probably not. And you just actually sparked something else in me, Toni, when you said what you said. Jackie didn't put this in this letter here, but I'm also now curious, what is it ultimately that you want, Jackie?
Yes.
So if there's a way, when you do see this, email programming@rootrangers.com, just let us know. Are you looking for your boss's job? Do you feel like that's what you deserve? Or do you just want someone to say, hey, Jackie, great job? I'm not really clear on what it is that you want, and I'm not saying that to knock you, but I am curious, because that also, that would really be very clarifying for myself, but I think more importantly, it would be clarifying for you. When you determine what you want, it helps you figure out what you need, and then you can go about taking the steps to get that. So you may want to look into that situation as well. That's all I got right now.
And you know what, Rudy, 100%. And something you said earlier, no matter what company you go to, it's the same. I mean, I make a lot of jokes with these questions, but every person who comes to me that does not work for themselves feels like they are not validated at work. They're doing all the work. Their boss gets all the credit. No, even if they're in sales, if they're in whatever, it's your boss's job to make sure. I'm not like sticking up for bosses, but in the hierarchy, the way businesses are designed, it's your boss's job to make sure you do that work and turn it in. And if he takes credit for it, that's just the way it's been going on for millions of years, whether you're a man, woman, or a dog. I don't, if that's just how it is. So again, like Rudy said, Consider something independent. Consider something independent if that's really what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely think so. I think we still have a little more time, don't we, Toni, or no?
We do. We have about 15 left on the clock, Rudy.
Okay, well, I have a question from Rudy from New York.
Ooh.
He's always interested in a psychic medium, but he, like a lot of people, sometimes is afraid. One, because of religious upbringings, and oh my gosh, that is the person with the horns and all that other stuff. Number two, he's always afraid of being told something really bad, like you're going to get hit by a bus on Tuesday at 3 p.m. So stay away from mass transit. What would you say to somebody like this, Toni?
So what I say, the way everybody does their readings differently, and some people are a little bit more gentle than other people. And I know of a reader that a lot of people call the doomsday reader because she just, that's why. Well, what I say is, if they give me something, let's just say they information comes through me for someone, it's always, they try to be as gentle and loving as possible, first of all, and second, wouldn't you rather know to avoid the bus? But in a bigger way, like, for example, I'll give you a couple quick examples here. I had a person come in and I said to them, you know what, your contract's going to end and you're going to need to move. This was a work and home thing. And the person was like, nope, my contract's not ending and I'm not moving. 2 weeks later, he's like, my contract ended and I do need to move. And I was like, I think, that's 2 weeks that they gave you where you could have been very proactive and looking for a new contract, a new position, looking for a new place to work instead of kind of being blindsided by that information. So I do think in some ways when they come through and give you messages, they're helping to clear if you feel like it's good for you, you can clear that path and start being proactive and taking the steps you need to take. Now, having said that, no reader is in charge of your life or the boss of you. You can choose with your own law of attraction or power to make something work, no matter how good, bad, or indifferent that something is. This is just guidance from above. You can take it, you can leave it, you can, throw it down the toilet and flush it if you want. As far as and as far as feeling like something is coming through that is ominous, a diablo, the devil, whatever it is, because that is a fear that a lot of people have. What I say is feel the reader, feel the energy or the reader. If it feels good, it probably is good. If it feels like your body is tensing up or you're getting information that is so off kilter with who you are and where you are in your life, this is probably not information for you or not the right person for you to be getting a read from. I do believe that some people that like maybe flip cards, they can give those cards their own meaning. Some people who give messages, they're coming from the perspective of where they are at that time in their life, not from you. When I do a reading for somebody, I totally immerse in their energy and work with their peeps on the other side, their angels, their guides. But I feel I go into their energy and I'm reading from that perspective. And people will tell me when they come in for what the people who are coming, and I've had people come in from Florida, from Canada, from all over the US and other countries to see me in person. And the one thing they say that the difference between a phone reading and an in-person reading is my eyes will change during a reading. My eyes get bluer. And if sometimes, even in phone readings, my voice will change because I'm literally channeling. I'm channeling your goodies, your angels, your guides to bring that information through for you. So that's what I would say you need to really watch for when you're getting a reading like this. Now, n- n- I do acknowledge I've done this since I was a child for as long as I can remember. And I do acknowledge that not everybody has the same abilities. You just have to find someone that you feel is on a higher frequency or vibration or energy and work with that person. Or just call me.
Gotcha.
Or just call me. I mean, it's seriously, and then there's that.
It was very well said. How do people find you to book? So, like Rudy in New York, if you wanted to get a reading, where do they go? How do they call? What do they do?
Yeah. You go to my website, tonig.info, ToniG.info. And folks, I won't, there's a lot of scammers on YouTube and Instagram and such. I never reach out to people. You have to come to me. And you follow the steps, pay for the session, and then my number is there, and then you call me and we schedule. All readings are either over the phone or in person. Now, some people will pre-record a reading and send it out. I do not do that. You're going to have me on the phone. We're going to be having conversation back and forth. You're going to be asking me questions. I'm going to be answering them. You're going to be asking me about loved ones on the other side. If that's what you want, I will be giving you whatever information I get regarding that. Whew.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Rudy.
No, you're welcome. I'm also curious now. This is me, Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
So who or does psychic medium Toni G get psychic readings from? Like, who does the psychic go to as a psychic?
I wish I had someone. The frustrating part. This is true story. Real truth here, Rudy. In the past, when I've gone either to tarot readers or somebody, I've gone with friends and they'll come out and go, "Oh my God, that was the best reading of my life. Oh my gosh, that was amazing." I walk in and the person flips 3 cards and they're like, "So," and they start asking me questions and I'm giving them a reading and I'm paying for it on top of it.
Really?
Yes, and almost just about every single reader, with the exception of one that I've gone to, I end up reading for them during what's supposed to be my reading. And so I don't have someone I go to. So instead, I go into meditation, I and I let go of the biggest thing about getting the biggest thing about getting an accurate answer is you have to let go of the answer that you want. Like, let's just use a romantic situation. You have to let go of, this is what I really want in this situation. You have to completely let that go and then let God bring in the answer that is the truth. But as long as you're holding on to the answer that you want, you can't get the answer from above. So I've learned sometimes the very hard way. We have to put our ego aside and let our spirit guide.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow.
Well,
This is
thank
pretty
you.
incredible. Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Little thing. I do love that.
Thank you.
Oh man! So tell me, what else? So, are you doing any personal appearances? Because you go to events and do things as well, correct?
Yeah, I do corporate events. I do galas. I do home and like I recently did a surprise birthday party that had 60 plus people at it. I do keynote speaking at big events. So yeah, all of that good stuff. All of
Exactly.
it.
Gotcha. Now, do pets get psychic readings? Can a fur baby get one?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I love reading pets. Reading pets is like
Really?
so good because it's all energy and they speak telepathically anyway. So fur babies can really come through very clearly. But mostly what fur babies want to say is more treats, of course. Sometimes they want to switch foods because the food they're eating is bothering their system. Actually, for somebody listening right now, one of your pets is on a food that they can't eat. It's really affecting their digestive system. I feel like it's actually a cat with longer hair, and this cat is whatever you're feeding this cat, it's not good for them anyway. Having said that, yeah,
Good to know.
see right there, fur babies can get readings too. So yes. So Rudy,
That's great. Do you ever get overwhelmed by all the messages that come through?
I'm sorry.
Do you ever get overwhelmed by all the messages that come through?
Uh, you know what? That's a really good question. I don't get overwhelmed unless I see too many people start to show up in a room. So I have this thing like as many people can be here, like people from above can be in the room as want to be in the room, but they have to take turns speaking and I can't see them all. Like if you're talking,
Okay.
you can make yourself visible. If you're not talking, you go back to invisible because that really overwhelms me. Like if I start to see, like in my room that I'm working in right now, I'm hearing over 300 spirits here with me right now. Now, these are not all my spirits. All the people on the call logs, all the people watching on YouTube, these are the spirits coming through for those people. And the biggest message that they want to
Oh,
give you
wow.
is that they love you. They love you and they're with you. So if I were to see
Okay.
all 300 of these people, it would freak me out. Like I would just start to like be a little like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get all these messages to everybody who needs to get them? That would be my biggest thing is I would be so nervous about being able to get everybody their message because that's what
Understood.
people don't. One thing I will say, Rudy, is when I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I'm a fixer, and when people come to me, and I'm a people pleaser, I should not say all this on the air,
Mhm.
but it's true. So when someone comes to me,
Mhm.
it's so important to me that I help them and I give them the information that they want and need, more importantly, need than want, and that I can do it accurately and I can get it all to them. And if I feel like I didn't do that appropriately, I get really stressed out about it. I will get like sometimes I'll feel like, oh my gosh, I need to redo that because
90 seconds.
I feel like I need to get that message better for them, or there were still people who wanted to say things to them, but and then I have to take a breath and go, okay, they obviously the most important messages came through. But I do get really like very passionate about making sure anybody who comes to me gets exactly first and foremost what they need, and second what they want.
60 seconds. Wow. That's amazing.
Well, thank you.
This is going to sound like a silly question, and I apologize because I'm just so fascinated by everything that you do. So, if you've got, like, say, 300 people in the room there with you,
Yes.
between YouTube and everything else, when you when the show, do they all just leave? Do they just go out the door?
Yeah, actually, and one of the things I love about the work I do is when I'm done giving a reading, sometimes when I'm done channeling a message, that message is gone from my mind. They leave, they go back to their loved ones, they go back to where they're how do I say, they go back to where they are want to be, supposed to be, and they go back to that space. Like sometimes
10
when I'm
seconds.
talking to a friend and their loved one comes through, they're with me in that moment, they're still with their friend, but at the end of that, they absolutely go back to my friend or whomever it is and stay with them or do whatever it is they want to do at that point.
Okay, so that means then, because I was worried that you maybe didn't have any alone time, so you do get to be quote unquote alone.
Yes, I do. So yes, we're
Okay,
never,
I just was
but
nervous
Rudy,
because I
I
kept
don't,
thinking my poor grandma's bothering me like in the shower or something.
no, those are my grandmas that bother me when I'm in the shower. But sometimes I will have people come through that will want to give me messages because I'm going to be talking to somebody or meeting with somebody later on that is this message is going to be for. So I'll have to completely try to remember that message, or then they'll come back to me again at that point in time and bring the message through for me. But yeah, no, they pretty much, if I'm not working, they're not with me. Is that a good way to put it?
It does actually make a lot of sense. So I appreciate you for breaking that down. This is awesome.
Thank you,
Well, looking at
Rudy.
the clock, I think it's time for us to go, huh?
Yes, it is. Can you please tell everybody how to connect with you again, Rudy?
Sure, you can go to watchrudy'sroom.com and you can find me, or just go on the Googler Schmoogler and put in Rudy Greene, Breedy. But Rudy's Room is the name of the show, and I love talking to people. And Toni, thank you for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure being on your show.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I can't wait until next time.
Yes.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Until Monday, I will be back Monday at noon, and Rudy will be making guest appearances, surprise guest appearances, scheduled guest appearances in the future. So we look forward to talking with you again. Thank you.
We love you. Bye, everyone.